accept. Where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be reacting and giving my commentaries on primarily this guy who his name is Chewjitsu. He's another martial arts YouTuber, and also on George Foreman because both of these people, George Foreman is an interview. They're talking about a phenomenon that you can find in the martial arts, where basically you think you're sparring or you think that you're training, but they think that they're fighting for their lives or they think they're in combat. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this dispels one of the internet fallacies. I don't know if they're still talking like this, but I know when I was on the net more they did, where people think that if you've been in a traditional martial art, especially if it's a punch kick thing, if you've been in a traditional martial art, you've never been hit before, right? So if you've never been in a real fight, right, that means that you've also never been hit before, so you don't know what it's like when somebody's really trying to hurt you. I'm here to tell you that's not true. You may not even think yourself that you've dealt with that, but unless you've been in one program where in that one program, that coach or instructor, Sifu, Sabunim, whatever, has kept a really solid environment at all times, you've probably been in one of these three type of situations. So it's basically, somebody's trying to knock your head off when you think that you're sparring. Somebody's trying to kill you when you think that you're sparring or just competing. It can happen in competition. It can happen in seminars. So Chewjitsu talks about the let's go light guy, he likes to call them, and the seminar stalkers. And George Foreman talks about when he was trying to kill Muhammad Ali in the ring, and Muhammad Ali was actually just fighting to the contest. And what's the solution to these? Because you know how you can't just complain; you're supposed to offer solutions. I'll go ahead and give it the solution away right for now, up front. Talk to the coach. You got to talk to the instructor. Talk to your coach and instructor that's in charge, and say something to him. And if you don't like the level of contact at whatever program that you're in, and the instructor doesn't want to change it, just go somewhere else. Same thing even if it's with me. If you're in one of my classes and you're like, I don't like the level of contact this person wants to do with me, I will do my best to try to pair you up with other people. And if that's still not to your liking, hey, vote with your feet. Vote with your feet. That's the only thing I can tell you. So, and if Chewjitsu ever finds this or George Foreman finds this, just know it's not just boxing, Mr. Foreman. It's not just BJJ, Mr. Chewjitsu. It's a common martial arts problem, period. Oh, excuse me, a combat sport problem. But no, this probably happens in practically any style. I've seen it. I've done punch kick styles. I've done judo. So I've seen it in more than one place.
What up, guys? So I wanted to have fun today with a situation that everyone in Jiu-Jitsu has experienced, and if you have not experienced this yet, give it time. So
Exactly. If you haven't experienced this in the martial arts, period, give it time.
So there is a person that occasionally may lurk in your gym or at open mats or whatever it is, and they are the let's go light guy. So if you're familiar with this person, essentially here's what happens. Let's go light guy, and by the way, lest you think I'm only talking about dudes, generally with jiu-jitsu, I say the word guys is kind of like universal. Men, women, doesn't matter. Ladies, this goes to you too, because I've had ladies that were like this. So you have the let's go light guy that comes into your gym, right?
I'm glad he said it. And I'm going to expand that out. It's not just jiu-jitsu, ladies and gentlemen. It's martial arts, ladies and gentlemen, period.
And they're there and they come up to you, they say, hey, let's roll. But by the way, I want to let you know that my shoulders really hurt, or my ankles really popped, or, I just got back from this thing. Could we go light? Now, you trying to be a good training partner, you say, sure, let's go light. let's take it easy. And in your mind, you're thinking that let's go light means that neither of us is going to try to beat one another.
Yes. And so think about that if it's a striking style. Next thing you know, you're like, you're having to do full contact blocks and really dodge out the way because they're trying to leave you with some bruises and some marks, or trying to knock your teeth out.
That the idea is going to be that we're going to move around and we're going to flow and we're going to have this very loose and technical exchange without the intensity of a hard round in jiu-jitsu, right? Seems fair enough. You slap hands, you bump fists, and at some point in this role, you realize you've been bamboozled. That this person has decided to go really hard, they're attacking submission, they're cranking stuff, whatever it might be. We've all experienced it at some point. So,
yes, that is the let's go light practitioner. I just got out of the hospital. I need to. And next thing you know, they're trying to knock the wind out of you. Hey, it happens. Let me pause for a second so we can switch to the seminar stalkers. So now these are the people who want to come to a seminar. He calls them, I thought it was seminar stalkers. It's seminar snipers. Dude, it's just a seminar. We're learning. We're here to learn, okay? I want to see if it really works, those types. And it's like, why are you doing that? We're just here to learn. These seminar snipers.
recently I was listening to the Lex Friedman podcast. That's one of my favorite podcasts. And he had Craig Jones on, and they were talking about the idea of seminar snipers, which is something that I've talked to with like other friends of mine who are, big names in the jiu-jitsu space who run seminars and stuff like that. We've talked about this before.
It's not just jiu-jitsu. It's not.
They were talking about this idea of seminar snipers. Here's the clip.
But 100%, if I'm at a seminar and someone's rolling too hard with me, if I feel like I might get hurt, I will 100% rip a submission on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's like where you're confronted with a threat.
Yeah. You
have to meet it with a threat. It's like, I've spoken about this with Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall give him a warning and then gone. And I think it's perfectly acceptable. Like, I won't endanger them for no reason. But if you're coming hot, you better tap fast.
Unfortunately, ripping submissions or like, knee on belly, some kind of dominant position, people don't like hear the message at all. Or if I let them submit me a bunch of times, they don't calm down either. So I've been trying to figure out how to solve that puzzle, because I'd like to keep rolling with people across the world for many more years to come. But it's tough.
And if you guys want to watch the
Now, I have not had this one too bad happen to me. I wish I could remember her name. I really wish I could remember her name. Because there was a woman that did a video on this years ago when she was talking about how she's a martial artist. I wish I could remember her name. And she said that a lot of men come to her seminars and try to really hurt her when she's doing self-defense. And I think it was like if she's doing women's self-defense too. So me being me, right? The next time I was at a seminar, after that, the next time I was at a seminar, I asked I think I asked two, not just one. I think I asked two of the more seasoned female black belts that were there if that ever happened to them. And they were like, oh, yes. And they told me that, yeah, they get people that come in there, they could tell they just want to try to prove something, because it's a woman teaching a thing. And, and there was another guy there. I'm not going to say who it was. First of all, I forgot his name. Second of all, he just turned around and said, hey, sometimes they want to come in there like that. You just got to do what you got to do. I was like, yeah, well, I can see that. So, yeah. So, we want to learn how to do martial arts safely to prepare for the threat. We're not expecting the threat to be there. So, and I think this is something good for parents too. Parents, go to the seminars. If your child is in martial arts and there's a seminar coming up, you should come in there too, and you should help watch, because you can be an extra pair of eyes to help keep people safe in case somebody comes in there that wants to, go overboard. But like I said, I have not had to deal with seminar snipers really too much. So I'm fortunate in that. I've definitely had to deal with let's go light people in practically any style I've studied. That's after a while I was just like, you know what, this is just a fact of life. And also I've even been chastised for going too heavy. It doesn't matter. I remember one time, I still remember I got yelled at by one teacher. He knows who he is. He lectured both of us. And it was really sad and funny. It was actually funny because we were both older than him too, and he still had to talk to us like we were children because we were acting like children. I was sparring with a guy, and I think he hit me a little hard, and I didn't mind, and I just kind of tagged him back, and he didn't mind, and we both just, I was like, oh, we can go hard with each other. And we both just started up into contact, but it was mutual, it was consensual, and we were cool with each other after that. And I was like, so okay, I know I can work with you, but I need to try to do something a little heavier. And even though it was consensual and we didn't get hurt, but we both went a little harder, he was still mad because we weren't showing technique. He was like, you guys were just brawling, just coming and just brawling. There was no technique, no technique. He was right. What can I say? He was right. So let me switch over to the person trying to kill you in the ring. This is George Foreman. He said the words out of his mouth. Now putting words in his mouth. Let me pause and switch.
I hit him so hard one time, right about the neck, and I heard him say, and I've never forgotten that. He was trying to win a boxing match. I hit him so hard one time, right about the neck, and I heard him say, and I've never forgotten that. He was trying to win a boxing match. I was trying to kill that guy, and that broke my heart once I found religion. I fell in love with him later on. We became phone talkers. He became my most beloved friend ever.
So he's saying, when they had that match, even though they were, end up being cool or whatever afterwards, which happens too, People can, grow, mature, move on, not act like it's the end of the world and whatever. But he said, at that point though, Muhammad Ali was boxing, he was fighting. Muhammad Ali was engaged in competition, he was trying to kill him. So yes, that happens. See, that's not even happening. This is in boxing. But I'm telling you now, it can happen in any martial art or combat sport. I hate to pick on them, but especially sometimes if you get people that are raw beginners, it's their first time sparring ever with anyone, you really have to be careful if you're working with beginners because they, especially if you already have a black belt, they probably are scared. So they ain't gonna come for you. Bless their beginner heart. You got to be careful. I'm gonna close back with what Chewjitsu says here because I really like this.
Know when someone's actually coming after you, but you can feel someone's coming after you, not in a fun technical way, but in like a kind of way. It's not a fun, enjoyable experience, right? Because again, I'm not there to compete. If you come to one of my seminars, and many of you guys have submitted me at my seminars, because as you know, I'll put myself in bad positions. We'll talk about that in a second. If you submit me, like I have a Nogi World title to my name, I have a Nogi Pan title to my name, I've placed at the ADCC trials, I have all some stuff over the years, right? That does not make you those things. This isn't Highlander where you like put me in a rear naked choke and lob off my head and you absorb the whatever it is that I have. I still have those titles. You don't have anything. You beat me in a role when I'm not even trying to compete, right? And this is the way that a lot of us who do this stuff look at. Like, it's not a fun position to be in. It's not enjoyable.
Like I'm trying to work on my weaker kicks or something, or I'm trying to work on my blind techniques. I would like to be able to work on my lesser techniques, the things that I'm not good at. That's one thing I don't like when you are working with people that have to go hard all the time and try to act like it's combat when it's not. Like that's one thing. If that's one advantage I have to own up to, if you're in or you have a program with a lot more people in it, is because this is what I used to do when I was a student. It's like, okay, I'm trying out this kick that I know I suck at, right? So let me see if I can pull it off against a white belt. Okay, if I can pull it off against a white belt, now Let me try to see if I can find somebody who's like at a yellow belt or green belt. See if I can get it to work with them. If I can get it to work with them, then I just keep working them. Let me try with the blue belt. Let me try with the brown belt. By the time I got to somebody who was like at my belt level or higher, if I could just even just score 1 point with it, and I was like, good enough. I got it in there that one time. So let me move on to something else. And you can't do that if you always got to worry about somebody trying to knock your head off. So in addition to, CTE and other, health concerns, just realize that it's like he said, it's not a fun, enjoyable experience if you think that every time you are in a sparring session or in the BJJ world rolling or whatever you call live sparring or not even live sparring, one step sparring or not even one step sparring at a seminar, if you think every single situation is literal life or death, man, come on. Come on. Nobody enjoys that. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. I don't enjoy that. And apparently I'm not alone in not enjoying that either. So these were good videos. I really liked them. I like the George Foreman interview and I like Chewjitsu's videos. And even though I'm not a BJJ person, I'm going to be checking some of that stuff out. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure some people like to talk about the martial arts and peace. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And to boxing people out there and grappling people out there and any other martial arts out there, it's not just y'all. This happens, period, because there are people. Peace.